Hello, hello. Let us jump into point 33 and play a mummy fighter. Let's do it. So this is going to be a particularly tough start. That being said, the fighter part will help us. Mummies in general are very tough to do. And we'll speak of that in a second. So, let me just get a little setup here. So we're a fighter. We get strength-based aptitudes, which is nice to see. We get a shield, we get a war axe because we chose war axe. We get some good armor to start, or better than average armor. Now the mummy is the key though. There's some good stuff with mummies. You're immune to poison, RC plus, resist negative, of course, immune to unholy pain and torment, which is more of a late game thing. You have a kick of negative fire. Necromancy is technically more powerful, but I don't have, for some, for whatever reason, I never end up being necro as a mummy. But the kicker is that, or the big thing with mummies are you can't use potions, and you have a built-in faith amulet. So it's very hard to make it as a mummy because you can't drink, so you lose half of your consumables, and many of those consumables are very powerful. Your healing potions, think of all the haste potions, all the might potion, like everything. None of that. No. But you do have a built-in faith amulet, and so you basically have to succeed as a mummy. You have to take advantage of the faith amulet, because if you don't, you're throwing away one of the good things you can do. And so typically with mummy, I play Qazlal, because it kind of can win in and of itself when you have a faith amulet. And so what our goal is going to be here, we're either going to die, or we're going to either make it to temple, start Quaz and survive, buff it up, and stare dance the hell out of this game until we get to the win, or we're going to die trying, because that's basically what happens with mummies. So let's give it a go. Mummies die so easily early game. Now, being a fighter is the most common way of avoiding that death early game, because you're just so beefy relative to the power level of the group, of the floor, that you do okay. But still, it's pretty darn scary. I've done a mummy that ended up being Quaz a number of times. I've actually almost 15 ruined as a Qazlal mummy. That was a fun little experience. I ran out of, I think, resources, scrolls, and it was just like, okay, I'd rather just lock this win down with, what it was, like 9 or 10, maybe. I had done like all of Pan and like 3 out of 4 of Hell. That's where I kind of left off there. Anyway, let's take it easy. One thing I sometimes do in this pattern is I'll clear like D, up to D3 or so, like D2 for sure. Just do all the easy stuff that don't involve named characters, and then I kind of dive to try to get to my temple. Like, I'll look at this, but it's not happening. Yeah, even though Quaz is there, I'm not gonna do it. Interestingly enough, 2 out of those 3 gods are faith-based amulet gods, but I will force Quaz. It's because it's either like red, Quaz, Yuskya. I suppose like a Mokleb might work. But I just find it's more consistent with Quaz. Back it up. I see there's an interesting spear up here. Let's check it out. Ooh, not too bad. 22 1.5 versus 15 at 1.4. That's fun. So first, oh, we got a nice ring too. I'm gonna put this as my primary single target. It's slow, of course. It's heavy, but the irony is that my war axe is heavy anyways. What is this? 50, 20. That's not much better than what I have already with the war axe, so I won't swap to that. Anyway, so we're on D3. It's tough. I'll stick around D3 for a little bit. Sometimes, like, I might start diving soon. Ooh, we got a nice neck. We have faith built in, so having this neck is very helpful. But as I was saying, at a certain point, I typically start to dive to get my Qaz active earlier. But I'll take it slow. We're getting a lot of we're getting a lot of good support with our items, which is very helpful. You'll take all the things you can get with regards to your power level. I mean, we almost have ideal. I don't know what, maybe fire res ring might be the better, the next best thing, but like slaying and strength, pretty solid. Remember that we have immunity to poison, so we don't need that kind of early game our poison in our game. See, this is kind of why you start to dive. You want to get to that temple without having to deal with these named mobs that are pretty darn powerful. The fear, though, is that Qaz is on an individual temple, or altar, that is, outside. But still, you want to hit your temple. As soon as possible. Let's double check what we're training. Yeah, I know we have a pole, but training axes keeps the pole training as a cross. Eventually we'll be like shredding on stairs with a broad axe and a shield. That's kind of the idea. You want the cleave because with Qaz you're loud. It's the loudness god. With nukes, literal, elementally charged nuking. It's gonna retreat. Okay, we did just about the whole floor. Move along. So now we're really in the god hunting mode right now. So any signs of an altar or a temple, we charge in. Not necessarily charge in, but you know what I'm saying. We home towards. So like that could have been a god altar, so As you can see, I'm playing this fighter very slow. I'm basically going to play this until I have that power level to like just steamroll things with Quaz and everything's active and online. This is going to be a very slow playthrough of a fighter, which is unusual. Normally you're just blasting with a fighter. But that's just what you have to do with mummies if you want to have success. You'd think mummies are like slow, you know, like moving slow. Kind of classic lore with mummies is they stumble around and, you know, kind of like zombies and whatever, but they're actually regular walking speed. But then you reconnect the idea to like how slow you play a mummy, and it's like, I guess you've made it slow, not itself, you know. Okay, well, this was a pretty boring D5. Let's I want to, at this point, see, temple will be either D6 or D7. So at this point, we've done good diving. I mean, this wasn't a true dive. Like literal diving, you might go all the way to like D6 after clearing D3 and then work your way up or something. But I'm going to start IDing stuff in the hopes that, yeah, I start getting some leverage here. I'm not going to pop a rev scroll unless we already had like 8 or 9 rev scrolls. It would be like, yeah, okay, I'll use it here just to find my temple quicker. But remember, we have no potions, and so our only consumables are our evocables and our scrolls, and so we have to be extra protective of our scrolls. We do not have as many escapes as other people, other situations. I hate that guy, Jeremiah. And Nastachio. Oof. We got our little ads summoning dudes. Some nice boots. Any boots are nice boots, but who knows? Ugh. Mummies win on the stairs. That's how mummies win. All right. All right. Just work your way slow. Now there's a big open space to our left. For some reason I think of temple when I think of that open space, but no. It wasn't some magically open situation there. Enchant weapon. Good to see. We'll save that for our magical broad axe that we will have and carry us through the game later on in this situation. So it's more and more, it's looking like our come on. Our temple is going to be on D7. Plus 2 boots, not too bad. I'm not gonna deal with Jeremiah today on this floor at this time. Jeremiah is a pain and a half. I'd rather just let him be. Ooh, did not expect that. Gotta be careful when I walk. Okay, so we've basically explored the floor. Sans killing Jeremiah, so let's move along. We got a lot of enchant weapon scrolls. That's good to see. Pick up the poison darts. So our temple is on this floor. The question is where. Totally fine. We have a faith amulet built into our bodies, so it's not like we've lost the world by getting it as late as possible. Yeah, it'd be cool if we got like a D4 temple and then it's like boom, Quaz is already up and running, you know, but I mean, I'll be happy with a temple that has Quaz. I mean, I will not complain. My worry though is that there isn't a Quaz in the temple, and then we're gonna have to dive into like D9 or D10 to see our Quaz temple, or altar, that is. We kind of have like the ant colony dungeon floor map here. Here we go. Please, please, please. Looks pretty full. So everything but Che. So it doesn't want us to be a slow zombie. That's totally fine. We got our Quaz. Quaz is an invo god. We're -1 invo, which isn't ideal, but whatever, it's fine. That's the kind of punishment. That's why mummies are so hard. Even when you have the god active, you have a -1 invo, so we gotta power that up. Alright. Okay, let's build through here. By the way, that's another reason why you like to dive in this scenario, is because you can save piety gaining till after you have the god. It's not just about getting the god quicker, it's about avoiding killing things that you don't need to, so that when you do have the god, your piety can build quicker with easier mobs before you get into the hard stuff. That's kind of the thought process there. Okay, ooh, Kararis, pick that up. So, we successfully got to our god. Great start. We don't have a helmet yet. Let's just take a look. No, nothing. Any new shields? Unlikely. Cool. I could probably go back to D4 now and find our Edmund and this guy. Okay. Do we have any chainmail yet? Oh, I'm already wearing it. We're good. And we could probably kill Jeremiah now. Is this Jeremiah's spot? No, it is not. This is Jeremiah. What do we have here? We don't need magic resistant regen. That would be nice to see when you're a caster type, but we are not casting today. Let's try to get him in here. Come on, one more over. I'm not gonna leave these stairs. I don't care what he does. Good, okay. Orb of Mayhem. Trident of Draining. That Trident's interesting. 23 at 1.1 versus our... we have like a Spear of 9. 31 at 1.4. R fire. Oh, the R fire. I didn't even realize we got R fire with that. Yeah, our spear is very nice. So I won't be using that. Okay, let's just finish off exploring. Okay, and then where do we leave off? We left at D7. So now we'll go to D8, and we've cleared everything we've done up to this point. Let's do U, fear. So fears are very important as a mummy. Like I said, you don't have the escapable resources utility of a lot of potions. So you have to prioritize saving and using wisely, like playing smart and using escapes like fear and blink and teleport very carefully. What is this? Oh, we do gain the ability to use torment freely. We're torment resistant, so that is notable. Fogs kind of become even more relevant. How much gold do I have? 22, 24. I think I'm gonna buy some of these to know them. Teleport? No. We have 4 teleports, okay. Ooh, it's a lot of priests. Get out of there. A little bit more tight than I wanted, but okay. Okay, here's our lair entrance. It'd be cool if I could get like a hand cannon, something like one-handed ranged that could convince me to go and build a range build. We're gonna maintain the shield though. We have to maintain the shield. I'm gonna forget the floor just in case someone wandered. Okay. We have a lot of enchant weapons, but nothing to enchant just quite yet. We're ahead of the curve on our shield. We're working that axe up. We haven't pipped any Qaz yet. Reflect, interesting. I mean, we have more than, I think we're at like 15% of our life is in our magic, so would we rather have reflect or 15% higher life? I think right now we want the life, but it's good we have options. Also, I believe Qaz give, oh, I haven't even covered Qaz yet. Once I get my first pip of, oh, I was gonna say, once I get my first pip of Qaz, I'll read us off what we can do. Excuse me. I was just going to say, I think Qaz gives me repulsion anyways, and so the reflection is a little bit less powerful. Let me double check if I can, yeah. So I'm immune to clouds, and I'm surrounded by a storm. And then this storm makes noise, quite a lot of noise actually. So he has a few like smiteables. He can smite with cloud with elemental, and then you have later on you can have the ability to convert the cloud. I'll do a tile right here, maybe. Yeah, see how there's like a tile that's been clouded or whatever. You start to build up stronger clouds, and then you can use that other, I think it's B, to convert any current clouds into elementals to assist you, which is cool. And then after that, yeah, you get repel missiles, and so the reflection is a little bit less potent, so it will almost certainly stay with the Guardian Spirit. And then you get resistances that like adjust based on what you're attacked, and so you get an additional fire resist because someone shot you with fire, that kind of thing. And then you get a nuke at the end there, and the nuke is crazy. But it's why you do stair dancing, because everything you do with Quaz is loud. So everything will run to the stairs, everything groups, and then you nuke everything. And then if anything goes bad, you go up the stairs. And then you go down a different stairs, and then you repeat. And that's how you win as a mummy. So basically we're on a slow build here, where we're trying to get our Quaz up and active, and we have to be very careful that the second that it's active, we then retreat back to stairs, and we kind of live the stair game for the rest of the game. Cool thing is the clouds that spawn, you see, boom, like that, it will hit the things around you, and add to your damage. So we got a hand axe of flaming, 19.9, 25, 1.1, and it's flaming, so I think that's already better than a war axe. Now we're not gonna just default to that, but like we're gonna end up being a broad axe cleaver, because we need to cleave down all this junk that's rushing at us on our stair loudness game. It's never a guarantee, like it's very low chance actually, but there is a shield that I've had before. Actually, it was in a Quaz game. There's like two shields that are loudness, like they make the negative, quote unquote, is that it's loud, but one of them is like a thunder shield that when you're attacked you make like noise and thunder and stuff. It's like, and like it's really powerful and synergistic. And then there's another one that's like the gong shield that makes noise as a negative, but it's like super defensive, and it's like a trade-off normally, like do you want to be completely loud but be super defensive? And it's like, well, as Quaz, I don't care about being loud. I'd love to continue to be super defensive. So all right, we've got one of these. Yeah, we'll have to go down a different down because we have a side that's covered by the river. Anyway, that's just a dream. He didn't want to die today. Oh, let's do this one so we're a little closer. Boom. Okay. All right. Anything to unlock? We have some pretty darn good resistances so far. Any shield? No. I'm just gonna split this up. Ah, yikes. Come on. You can already see that the loudness is a part of the game here. Look at the noise at the top right, how it's already at like 30%, and I'm just standing here, kind of thing. It goes to show that this is it's gonna be loud. I'm probably not going to be using amnesia at all today, more than likely. Invisible guys, very scary. We don't have the potion of enlightenment, and we don't have see invis, so we got to be very careful about that. The hope is that my elemental stuff kills it for free. Or we back away. I think we're good enough on this floor. I'm just going to go down and skip that undead shenanigans. Unless it followed me. Is it here? Or is that a different... We certainly didn't bring it down a stair like that. So there's just another invisible thing there. It's a really nice dagger for our fire. I'll pick it up just to have it. I'm gonna start the stair dance. So we got one behind us. Let's reset. I'm gonna reset, and I'm gonna swap to the axe, and I'll do a 360 swing. Hopefully that's a little bit more effective at clearing them out. Okay, I got him. Wait. Maybe the second one came over? That's very confusing, because I got experience. There. So I think I reclaimed this floor now, so I can start up again. What's in here? A sphere of battle. Oh yes, I've had this before. It's a fun little assistant to conjuration if you don't want to do battle sphere. I don't believe you can do both the battle sphere like spell and that at the same time. So it's more so like, I didn't get Battlesphere, but I really want Battlesphere, and you should always want Battlesphere, by the way. Um, interesting. Okay. Um, okay, let's back it up. Don't want them to steal my teleport there, but I like this little choke here. That's a scary little sight there. Okay, we got some imps on us. We're at 2 pips of Quaz now. As your pips go up, your default noise goes up as well. So as you can see, we're now kind of living in like the 40% range, 35 to 40% loudness all the time. And then eventually it's just like 50, 60, 65, and then it's like you're just so noisy that you go down a stair and then the floor is ready to go, you know? It's a different kind of game, but that's what the Mummy's built for. Okay. Scroll of Torment, normally a bad thing, or not bad, but just like not the thing you're looking for. But today it's very nice. You get to torment people. Just to be clear, what is a torment? Because you always just drop it and don't think about it. It basically does. It removes all the resilience, or it removes half of the resilience of all living creatures, and cuts down on all holy creature resilience by a third. It's okay. Like it's not gonna do like wonders for us, but it's kind of an interesting dynamic that you don't usually interact with. So we have a gauntlet on this floor. Gauntlets actually aren't too bad in this scenario because things are limited to their little quadrants. The issue, though, is that getting to the gauntlet in time and doing any sort of portal work as a mummy of Quaz is very rare because you have to get to it, and to get to it you have to feel safe to leave a stair, and to feel safe to leave a stair you have to do a lot more than you would normally. So well, it looks like it's nearby, so at least there's that, and there it is. We'll take a look. So we've got a 3 into 1 into 3 scenario. There's a ring in the middle, so that'll go on regardless. There's a ring on the back right. There's a helmet, which we were missing, on the back left, so we probably would go back left. H, there's a cloak here, and a ring in the middle. So basically our scenario is we either want a ring, blue ring down the center, cloak to the left, cloak to the right, enchant weapon on the right, and then you go down the center, and then we go for the helmet on the back left. And so let's say we go right. I could do that. Center. I don't even see what's in the center. What's in the center? Apocalypse crab. That's a little much. I don't know. And then left. Certainly not right. Look at that. Yikes. Centers. Yikes. This is actually not bad at all. It's just a bunch of ghosts. Not bad at all. And then it's the Minotaur itself. We have 3 pips of Quaz. We have things like silence if we need to do it for the apocalypse crab. I think we can do this. The question is what do I start with? Do I use the hand axe 20 at 0.8 versus 32 at plus the cleave? I'll be popping in the middle. I'll probably use the spear to take out this guy quickly if it wasn't natural. Pop on the cleave. Alright, that was easy. Cloak of Prez. Cool. So now we have our core and acid resistance. Not sure if... I assume we didn't have our core naturally. Okay, here's the tough one. So I will be popping in to the right. What does he cast? Chaos Breath. Okay. Let's... is there anything fun I can do to start? I don't necessarily want to waste too much. Okay, good. It's pretty clean. Another enchant weapon. RLEC, RC, will negative. I mean, the RLEC and RC is amazing. The will part is pretty annoying. The EV is good. So I think we can put this on because it's so nice, although we do sack some other stuff. I think eventually we could probably use this ring to, as long as we build up our will and other means. Okay, so we're going to jump into the center here, and there'll be at least 2 guys on me, so it's probably cleave to start. And then, cool. Helmet. Unfortunately, this is a pretty bad helmet. You get invis, but negative strength plus int. We don't really care for that. Chainmail of will. That's cool to see. I could probably put that on right now. Not because it's necessarily better, but because we're going to be fighting a Minotaur, and the Minotaur doesn't have like fire, so it's like I'd rather have... Now the question is, do I want to put on this ring now with the will popped up? I could basically, I'm trading a fire for an extra 2 cold RLEC. Yeah, so like this is I'm sacrificing the strength, I suppose, and now we just have like the an incredibly solid defense. All right. Okay, I will upheaval. That's not great. Can he be feared? Oh, that was very tight, but we did it. Triple, no, nothing there. Anything here? I'll pick up the earth just to have it. We got a tremor. Nothing. And gold. Okay. That was a mix and match scenario. We got some good value. I won't complain. It was just a little tough here and there. We're really getting these will negatives paired with things. It's kind of interesting to see. I'm going to drop the reflect. We got another ring of slaying. It's like, yikes. I would love to pop on 2 rings of slaying and call it a day, but like, look how good this ring is, ignoring the will part. But I'll keep it on my inventory. You never know. Like, if we go to elf, ironically, removing that ring could be a solution to getting will back, for example. Although the RLEC is important too for Elven, so I don't know. We'll figure that out when it matters. Don't know what that was about. Did he invis himself? Yeah, okay. Cool. Well, that's interesting. We were able to do the gauntlet. It's not typical. So we know all our stuff. I was really hoping we could get an acquirement so that we could get a broad axe so that we could use our enchants on them. Because we have basically a full broad axe worth of enchants. It's one more and we have the 9, so cool. Hey, and we did D12. I got a little ahead of myself. Normally I stop at D11, but it was like, okay, keep going. And yeah, we can buy an enchant weapon to finish off our, if we needed to. Teleports, we got 7. Poisons, we've got 1. I might actually buy a poison. It's a really good AoE solution. It also is a zone denial solution, kind of cleverly, because things don't like to walk into poison, and so if you say like, oh dang it, I need to go up this stair, I'm immune to poison, I can just walk through poison. So essentially it denies the walking paths of everything to follow you. So it's kind of, for a mummy, it's an escape, which is pretty fun. All right. I guess we will start Lair. I mean, we're playing this mummy pretty slow, which is fine. So I know sometimes on a caster type, it takes a little bit of time before you even get to Lair. So we're kind of on pace for that kind of play style. So just pretend we're a caster of Qaz that has kind of a beefy mummy fighter body. I'm not sure mummies can be put to sleep. I know gargoyles have that feature. Ooh, this is not the most ideal. I'm going to upheaval her. I will fear. No, I'm gonna poison and then fear. So now things are gonna run into the poison. So that's a combination there. Oh, the Cato's still alive. Okay. That was a little much, but we did get a named guy with a Cato. I mean, it feels bad to use a poison and a fear in one go, but that's kind of the combination to really avoid a situation plus deal with it at the same time. And look, we were rewarded with the poison right here. I'll pick up... No, I thought for a second there that it was a Swamp Dragon skills. It'd be cool to get that a fear back, just to trade that encounter off. So our axe throughput is getting there. It would be really cool if we could get some real axes though. Demon Whip. That was a pretty active Lair 1. Let's pull it up. I guess we missed our chance, but our elemental powers are naturally killing. Like once your pips get up there, like we're at 4 pips of Quaz, this elemental fury of hurricane around you kills things. And that's what I'm talking about when I say stair dancing. You just kind of stay at the stair, you track things to the stair, and your elemental fury just shreds things. Your broad axe shreds things. And then if you have to call up the bigger spells, you do that. Okay, I'm going to run it out here. Oh, nice. We have See and Viz. That was a weakness of our little game earlier. Looks like we're going to have Snake. I don't mind Snake. Although the constriction part of it is a little awkward. That being said, you can be constricted with things on spiders, so it's just kind of the same game. I guess we have infinite poison resistance, so I do prefer Snake because now we've solved their like poison spit problem. We're the one of the few edge cases that actually deal with that negative. That they have a spell that lets you or lets them still take it's like negative poison spell basically. So even if you have poison resist, you can still get hit pretty hard by it in Snake. But if we're infinitely poison resist, well then you can't do that to me anyway. Okay, so we do have a hand axe and we have a spear. I'm gonna run this away regardless. We can take it takes real damage from our AoE effects. And then swap. Cool. So like you're not gonna be off your stair that often to like kite things. But you can kite things pretty well through your fire and flame. So like a Spriggan of Quaz kind of has a weirdly positive synergy where you just kite things forever behind you, and a lot of stuff just dies to your Quaz AoE. I'm gonna do the same here. I don't want to deal with the toad at the same time. Let's do the kiting a little. To be honest, it's only 4 heads. I'll just kind of take it out. Okay, Lair 3 done. Elephants are scary because they'll knock you off your stair. All right. Okay. Nothing really to do more here. I don't want an Amulet of Acrobat. I can probably drop the Strength Ring at this point, just to clean that up. Probably never using this War Axe. I'll keep the R Fire just in case we want to swap and have max resistances, for whatever reason. Okay, I think I can also do Lair 5 in this session, no problem. We're kind of at that point where we can finish off the session, but we're not there just yet. You can see our loudness is like 80% now. So this is maximum Stair Dance mode now. We've been marked, which honestly doesn't matter. I'm going to take whatever elephants I can take. Okay, let's take a few things. Switch floors. This is a nice little choke here. You can do a lot of work right here. That's not good. Okay, I'm going to fear. Oh, that was a waste. Let's poison. Okay. Certainly not ideal. Wasted that fear for no reason. I'm not sure why it didn't stop me from, like, it didn't tell me to stop fearing if it wasn't going to do anything. Maybe it did fear and it just immediately hit the wall. So that was my bad if that's the case. But I guess there isn't always a good, you know, if you don't have the throughput to kill single target kill things infinitely, you shouldn't put yourself in a choke like that. Lesson learned. I thought I had the firepower for now, but I guess I didn't have enough for, like, what, 6 death yaks in a row. Mm-mm. It's funny. It's like I'm the stair dance guy, and we're getting the floor that has the Shoals pushback dragons to get off the stairs. It's like they knew. Ooh, a little bit too much here. There's a helmet. Okay, so we got that like merfolk thing, temple, whatever. Um, but it's not like the full temple. It's a weird corner version of it. Or at least that's the perspective we joined the map with. Or maybe it's just like it is the regular one, but we have a really thick edge rather than being in the middle. One of the side effects of being Quaz and dealing with the floor with the stair dancing for a while is you join the floor, like you start moving off the stairs and like everything is dead because everything ran to you. So there's like a big stress for each floor followed by a really chill, oh, this floor is completely clear kind of feeling for most of the floor at least. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my, what's this going to be like in Zot? You know, or depths. Depths are usually tiny floors, not always, but there's a lot of like tiny little depths floors. And Zot, open air, bring everything to the stairs, and that hell. Yeah, it is. But that's what if you want to win with a Quaz and a mummy, that's what happens. Now, what we haven't seen yet is the full power of disaster area. That's kind of how you solve some of the bigger problems. What do we have here? Cloak of Stealth. Nope. So our little merfolk trove wasn't as great. So we had hoped, although had we had a stabber, a +4 rapier of electrocution would be pretty sweet, and that's a Cloak of Stealth, so that would have synergized with that as well. Cool. Okay, so we still don't have an acquirement, so we're gonna park ourselves in Orcish Mines, and we'll kind of recap where we're at here. So we are, of course, the mummy fighter of Quaz. We successfully made it to our temple. We got our Quaz. We've revved it up to max pips. We cleared all the way to dungeon 12. We did a gauntlet, which was pretty fun. We didn't get as much as we had hoped from gauntlet, but we got some stuff. And we just cleared Lair, of course. Our armor is very resistance oriented. We could do a little better with our AC, and we're going to certainly hope we improve on that. Because when you're tanking on stairs, you want to have that defensive brute force defenses to sustain on a floor and then escape, clear the whatever came up with you, and then restart on a different stair, for example. We really want to improve our weaponry. I mean, this spear is doing wonders for us, but we're going to need a broad axe soon. We have all the enchant weapons for it. We still don't have, in terms of our knowledge, brand and acquirement. So the two remaining scrolls that we do not know are ones that we do desperately want. Of course, acquirement above brand, but even if we see a broad axe generic on the ground, I mean, we can get it to +9 pretty quick, but we want it to be of something, you know, so hence the branding needs. So yeah, we're gonna probably jump into Orc next, hopefully get some good stores there, and we have some gold, I believe. Where's our gold? 600. Yeah, it's not that much. But you know, we don't have too much to buy, so it would be cool to get some more options there. Maybe even a broad axe drops in Orc. And so that's our next goal at the start of next episode. So thanks for watching the start of this mummy fighter of Quaz, and we'll take it from here.